serious timekeeper. Even though I have an opportunity. I'm happy and the disappearing. No, I'm going to so I haven't to just across less than yes. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, would you like to
asking me how do I come up with a project, or if I have this issue and it needs to be addressed, how do we go about it? Now, today's exercise will give you answers to that. So today is not more of sitting, but more of moving around and doing the practical aspects of the model. What I will urge you is that just be open-minded, ask the questions where necessary, participate where you are required, so that you reap maximum benefit from today's proceedings. So with that, I wish you a lovely day. I'll be joining you later. God bless you. Huh? Okay. So, today is more of a practical from. I'll come back and not even wait until the whole thing is over. I'll be joining you later.
I'm a believer in time. We said 9. And if we don't begin right now, some of us will get bored. So I'm requesting Mr. Carrier to pray for us so that we begin. Please come over.
Let's pray. Our dear everlasting God, we come into your presence. Thank you for the deliberations that you are going to undertake this day. Bless even our facilitators as they take the part. We pray that short day believing and trusting in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you very much, Carrier. So I want us to begin by sharing, and I propose to do it differently from the way we did yesterday. Today we are the first people who arrived, and we'll begin with this. Is it Morambe? Yes, he was the first one to arrive. So I welcome you to the dais to greet us and share to us your experience about yesterday and the way forward. What do you think we would have done better? What was our biggest strength? What was our weakness? And what do you think is the biggest strength with FCM? Welcome, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Patrick. I am a DCC District Mozambique. So I have not quite got what you expect from me. Is it a general comment about yesterday?
General comment about the training. You are thinking about this whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's a good training. I understood the whole concept to be kind of a new way of looking at communities, the way communities operate. And I think it's a good approach for those of us who work with communities all the time. I think the training is good and quite useful. So,
Thank you. So thank you very much for that. Now I want to demystify this FCM in my own strange way. Let me put off my phone. When Michael introduced me to the FCM the first time, ilinisumbua kichwa sana. Because I was asking, what is this? As an African, as a Meru who grew up in Meru, I saw my mother bring women together to buy sufurias, to buy cups. So what is this Mzungu telling me about Chama? I think those were the thoughts that were happening in my head. And I was looking for a very complicated thing. Because kama ni savings, we save. So mama wetu wako kwa chama. So what is different with what he's telling us? Then I sat down one time and I looked at what he's talking about. And I remember asking Michael, what is special? And he was like, Agnes, let me tell you, Chama is FCM is an African concept. It is what Africa is supposed to teach the world. So we have people who've been working with groups, our women groups, right? But we've worked with these women groups. We are now forming men groups. We have CWA, but have we documented this? Have we done a program or a way of helping these women and men help themselves. Let's take, for example, I really struggle to help men struggling with addiction. And after I was working in a rehab for some time as their consultant, I realized that the relapse rates were getting higher. Mama anakuja, because mostly these days tunasema mama, it is time we started saying baba. The family comes, take this child to rehab, this young man to rehab. They spend around 300,000 because it's 50,000 on the lower side per month. And after spending this money, this man, because mostly it's men, they will come back home and the next time they find themselves drinking. Are we having that issue?
Yeah.
How did we begin men groups with Christine? I was working in Chuka University Igembe campus. I was bored and I was feeling, I think I was at my lowest. And I was looking at these men. Where we were living, gender-based violence is like an everyday activity. These men don't care whether their children have gone to school. Kwa ofisi ya chief, kila siku ni kesi. Every day. Mara shamba, mara mtoto hajapelekwa shule. So I called somebody and asked him. I called someone and asked him. He was coming to hire a hall. And I asked him, how can we help our men? Unaweza niletea mulevi mmoja tu au wawili tuongee. Ananiambia, he asked me, unataka wangapi? Just any man who is drinking, who is struggling with addiction, we talk to him. When do you want to meet them? On Wednesday. The first day they came 50. I sat with 15 men. They met me, we sat there, and we talked, and I asked them, what is your problem? I listened to them and I realized men are suffering. You see, men don't speak out like we ladies speak out. Men are suffering and they're suffering silently. And they will tell me, I go home, my wife will not give me a place to sleep. Culturally, mwanaume kwa kijiji atajikuta anajipikia. au anabeba maji. So I asked them, what is the way forward? And they told me, Daktari, you are the first person to respect Mulevi. We never knew we are valued, we never knew we are trusted. And then I told Christine, I have got 15, what do I do with them? Mine is mobilization, I don't know how to do groups. And Christine told me, we will try. Luckily that December, Michael came. And the second meeting, we had 30. By the time I left Igembe, we had 60 men. So we didn't even do anything much. We simply sat with them, Christine, and we did psychoeducation. What is addiction? What causes you to have addiction? What pushes you to addiction? How can you support each other? By the time I left Maua, when I was clearing from the chief, actually I was going out to formalize the group, and I went to the chief and he was like, Daktari, ukijua vile umenisaidia. Vita vya familia vimefanya nini? Vimepungua. Because these men came and we encouraged them to form positive peer pressure. So what I'm saying is this, in Historia, let us come together, let us look at our problems and handle them in a structured way. As a DCC, why do we need you as a DCC? Why do we need the county government? You are the people dealing with these people. You know them. You understand their problems better. You are the people who are practicing. Actually, yesterday I was telling my colleagues, this is research meeting practice. This model has been developed in our own communities. I think Tarakaniti and Meru are twins, right? Am I wrong? Kuna tofauti ya Tarakaniti na Meru? Apart from the administrative boundaries. The problems the DCC in Meru County is facing, are they the same problems we are facing in Tarakaniti County? So, when I wish we would have time to visit the Sonzon groups. And you realize, like these ladies who are here, when we met them, the first time I went to Lejoka, these women could not stand in front of people. Their esteem was at the lowest. I listened to them yesterday saying a choral verse, and I was like, are they the same people I knew? Because their confidence has been built. 10 shillings imenunua mbuzi ya familia. 10 shillings imesomesha watoto. And there's something I want to tell you. Sonzo does not give money. At ile unakuja unawapatia, no, they give money for training, for facilitation, but no, the dependency syndrome is not there. The issue is you have your 10 shillings every month, every week. How will these 10 shillings help you? How do you work with these 10 shillings as a chama? How do, like, nimechapwa na bwana, nikafukuzwa nyumbani. Sawa, where do you begin from? Tuko pamoja? This victim mentality that our people have. The other day when I say I was assessing the young ladies, I was doing a mental health assessment, I saw a lot of victim mentality. How do we come together now and stop saying, sina pesa ya kupeleka mtoto shule, yet unaenda kibarua kila siku unalipwa 300? How can you work with these 300 shillings so that the child is in school? Isn't it one of our goals for our government, our goals as a government? That our children must be in school. How do we do this? So the aim of this is that let us come together, create better communities where children can thrive. Tuko pamoja? Yes, so that we reduce the children who go to the streets. Now, as we wait to begin,
Yeah, whenever.
Kadhoni, how are you? I was waiting for you.
I was waiting for you before you forgot.
Umefika?
Nilifika kitambo.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
I've been given a responsibility.
Good.
And I'm not very good at MC.
You're up to the task.
Please welcome, greet us, and tell us the challenges in the community. I was also ambushed.
So it is best with you.
In this room, I believe there's nobody that can't ambush and do it. We get ambushed together.
We get ambushed. We share that responsibility.
Yes.
Wow.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
I said that you are nice.
Oh, I'll tell you who I am.
What you are.
Who I am and what I am. My name is Kadhoni. I am a Kenyan by birth and by right, and I love my country very much. I am a public servant here to serve the people of Kenya in my capacity as a Director of Social Development, and I am happy to be here. I am a mother, a wife, a sister, all the above and probably more. Najua ukiambushiwa, you're not prepared, but what are the challenges in this?
Can I give you?
Yeah, you can.
What you work in the community?
Yes.
You have been in the community for
This is since 2021, so in fact I have just gone guard 4 years this month.
in social development.
Yes.
What are the main, let us not look at the children now, per se. What is the biggest problem you're struggling with in our community as a social development officer?
I would say what I have encountered in the 4 years I've been here, okay, I would say is knowledge empowerment. When people are empowered or they have knowledge, they're empowered. And I think that is one of the greatest things that hinders communities from moving forward or from developing when they lack knowledge. Or wakitegemea mtu mmoja akiwa tuseme kwa kikundi, the groups, the chair, wanategemea huo mtu. That person is their everything. So they don't want to go look out for knowledge for themselves. They want to depend on somebody else to give them that knowledge. So I think that is the greatest hindrances or challenge that is being faced, even in regards to personal development. Unataka tu kukaa kwa boma, hata wewe mwenyewe utaki kutembea uende uone vile dunia inakaa. Your small world is the four corners of your home, is the four corners of your fence, is the four corners of your gates, and you're okay with that. But you know, once you move out, you get to see what other people are doing, you get to be enlightened, you get to get that knowledge that you have, you kick out ignorance, and you get to move, you get to develop somebody else, and that somebody else develops that other person. And I think that is something. And there's a lot of wealth in Tharaka Nithi County, a lot of wealth and a lot of manpower. But you know, for Tharaka Nithi, you are an exporting county. You export manpower. You don't import it. So our youth are moving outside. Can you imagine a scenario where you maintain your youth, you develop your youth, you will grow, you will develop. You know, most people say if it was not for Chuka University, Chuka itself town would probably be a ghost town. You know, I stand corrected, but Jagi can correct me. If Tharaka University had not come huko chini, ingekuwa aje? You know, so let's not export our youth. Let's maintain them. Let's give them a purpose for them to develop, for them to grow. The youth that are in Chuka University, give them a purpose to stay, give them a purpose to develop here, and it will grow, and it's a wealth. I came from Nakuru County, and Nakuru County is, you know, is huge. It's a big place. So coming here, the population shrunk. The names are so difficult for me here. So it was a shift. You have to change your mindset. I had to change my gears. I had to look at it from a different perspective, not what I was used to, a huge cosmopolitan place, a city in itself. Moshene Nakuru iko, wajuaji wako, hao wanajua, you know, but here people are quiet. I've learned that if they like you, they will tell you. If they don't like you, they will tell you. They are so open to that. And in Nakuru, it was so different because people are within themselves. They first chunguzani, but here they're just so open. They will welcome you. They see you're worth it. So it has been a good experience. People are willing to learn. People are willing to see things differently, and it's a good place. It's a good place. I don't know why people don't know about Tharaka Nithi County. Tunajulikana tu wakati wa elections, where the votes were much bigger than the population itself. You know, so it is a great place to be. It's a great place to work. You learn a lot. I learn a lot about myself here. So yes, that is what I would say is that for me the challenges in this county. Yeah.
What about this thing like of knowledge, exporting of our youth? Like, how is it impacting like on the issues in the country?
If you have a demographic that of young people that are young mothers, they are hopeless, they're not seeing a way out, they don't have anybody to direct them, or if they have somebody to direct them, they may either think that this person wants something from them. We have the challenge of where children are being left at home with their grandparents, and the young mothers or young fathers have to go out to look for work because they don't think the work is here. So they're migrating. And even in our youth groups, we tend to notice that membership is constantly changing because youth are constantly looking for jobs elsewhere. And once they get an opportunity, they're gone. So that is, imagine a scenario where that young mother is given hope, that young mother is introduced to the savings. That one will stay, because she's seeing a way out, he's seeing a way out, you know. When a community embraces a young mother, a young girl who bahati mbaya alifanya makosa, she got pregnant, you embrace that young person. As opposed to shunning that person, you embrace her, not the mistake. Yeah, she made a mistake or something happened, but embrace her as a person, not embrace, not because she made a mistake, but her as a person. We are not a sum total of our problems or the makosas that we do. No, we are different. Yeah, when Michael was telling us contextualize, I'm not bad because I did a bad mistake. No, I am still Gaboni. And Gaboni is Gaboni kando ya hiyo makosa nilifanya, ama apart from that mistake that I did or whatever I did that as society conceives as wrong, I'm still Gaboni. So once we change our mindset, the most difficult thing is behavior change. Mindset. You know, we are like this. You know, horses that have blinders, they don't see outside. But once we get to change our views, get to change, accept somebody for who they are, then I think our young people will be more comfortable, more secure. Their future, they'll probably feel safe. But I stand corrected. Yes, people, you can correct me. You know, yeah. Once we accept them, you know, the way I was brought up is not the way I'm bringing up my children. And I think I should bring up my children the way we were beaten. What? Tulinyoroshwa. Of course. We were beaten. And we didn't break. You know? Yeah, they will break because kababa, kamama. You know, we have kamamas and kababas. Yeah? But if we're able to show them, me, I did not break, none of you break. This is it, did you break? Now I'm sure we'll chapwa. I am so sure. But this is Ukuchapwa. Wow. That is an exceptional household then. Ukuchapwa? When?
I never had a
Wow. I think, why? Yeah, why?
I'm just speaking the truth.
That is interesting.
I don't want to steal myself.
I agree. But I'd like to know.
My mother would not even think of beating me. And my mother would not.
You are good.
And personally, I have never placed a rod on any of my children. Sijawai.
Wow.
If I ever raise a kiboko on any of my children, it will be the shock of the year. They will really be surprised.
Wow, that is interesting. That is.
And that is the honest truth.
That is okay.
Sisi tulikuwa tunachapwa not because kuna makosa hata tumefanya. Yeah, so sometimes hata unaenda shule wengine wanafanya makosa, but because you are within that circle,
Yes.
unachapwa nyote.
Yes.
Hapa mtu anafanya makosa nyumbani, unachapwa nyote.
Yes.
And we did fight our parents. Kwa tunatoroka unaenda kwa auntie anakurudisha, inaisha hivyo. I don't know, it's different the way we are also bringing our our children, because sometimes I try to reason even with my Gen Zs. Mwambia shahidi ananiambia hapana, just because ulifanyiwa si lazima hata sisi tufanyiwe hivyo. Just because you walked barefoot, unataka hata sisi tutembee mguu tupu. Unaona? Tulichapa vizuri na si ile threats nitakuchapa na unangoja unachapa. Na hakuna kitu utafanya.
Yes.
I think the way I see parenting myself, I don't see as a father that I should go out of my way to impose my values or my beliefs or my vision to my children. Yeah? I believe in the saying that your kids will be okay. They will never be like you,
Yes.
but they'll be okay.
Yes.
So when a child comes home with maybe a D in class, to me that is not a source of a fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I got an A, I should not beat up my children so that they can get an A like I did. They will fight their own way, and I have seen my children. I don't want to brag that they are disciplined, but I have not seen a disciplinary issue either from school or elsewhere regarding any of my kids, despite my kind of hands-off parenting. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm lazy.
No, what you are saying, I don't think you are lazy. You are the model parent. Now you are the DCC. Does your village know that? Even let's not forget. I said let's not look at ourselves as we forget so much about our titles. As human beings, I come from a village. Do my people know that? The answer is no, right? Like the way you've parented, I will say it is one of the recommended ways of parenting. But do we know that? Mimi ugonga, na vile najua, mimi ugonga until at a point where they realize they have become taller than me and they are men, so I can't continue beating them. But you've done it, you've succeeded, so we need to borrow from you. You're a great parent. And I'm jealous. I wish you were my father. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else who wants to give an input on what Galoni has said? I want us to have an open forum because towards evening you may want to talk now to Ongeleshe so that we begin. Whatever. So someone else, just give your input so that we set a pace for the day. Okay.
And mine will be just just an opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm happy, and I'm a happy parent, and I am proud our model parent, and I'm glad that alilea watoto wakati ule. Watoto wa saa hii ni different sana, na mwenye amelea Gen Z na Alpha na Gen Alpha atakwambia the influence. Wale watoto wa kitambo wamekuwa influenced in Sunday school, in school, unalingana na ile shule ulipeleka mtoto wako. But now wale watoto tuko nao, akona simu, akona TV, na akona watoto wengine ambao wamelelewa even in other setups, the broken marriages, all those kind of people in the society. So we have a big challenge ya watoto wa saa hii. Even us, mzazi angekuangalia hivi and you know anasema nini. Unaenda, unatoka nje, unaenda because umejua vile amemaanisha. My grandmother would tell me that sometimes Mau came and she had kids. Mtoto ungemfinya hivi kichwa wa saa hii, ukimfinya katapiga nduru yenye hata wewe uta. But my grandmother tells me wakati Mau came alizima taa,
akazima moto, then akafinya tutoto hivi kichwa. And kunaitanwa, and none of the kids could even utter a sound. And they thought, tumekosea, hii boma zilikuwa na watu. And they went. But now mtoto wa saa hii si huyo. Kaguze tu kidogo hivi ukijaribu kukanyamazisha ndio ukue safe and you are done. So I'm saying we need to, as much as we are now looking at the model parent we are talking about, we also visualize and conceptualize that we are in another era.
Yes.
Where the orientation, the man that was being oriented, akijana akifika anatahiri, anapelekwa Garo, anatoka Garo, we don't have that man today. So even the gender issues that we use to describe gender have really been overtaken. So the man we are talking about today and the description of gender today is totally different. So the orientation that the kids are getting today is totally different. And so as we embrace the FCM, we should also look at those dynamics and be able to mainstream what now the actual status. Thank you so much.
That is wonderful. I think what is bringing out is parenting is dynamic. It keeps on changing. Yes. And as parenting is changing because the society is changing, then our way of doing things have to change. Is that what you are saying? Sure. Yes, that gender issues. Where I grew up, a man will not step in the kitchen. True, Mr. Laibota? But today, I am a mother of 3 boys. In my traditions, hawangeingia kwa nyumba yangu. But today, if I leave them out, hata utawakuta tu wanaingia bedroom. Dynamics have changed.
Hata mimi singeenda soko.
Haujaenda soko, lakini unaenda soko. So even as government officials, with our agency, we have to know things have changed. Yeah. So somebody else, we are just setting the pace here beginning. Gemma, you've worked for an international organization and you're still working with the communities. Tell us something. We can release Gadoni now, amesimama sana.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gemma. I'm also called Pierina. Yes, I have worked with communities, and what I've observed is I've worked with communities in the Western Kenya, in Eastern Kenya, in Nairobi. And one thing that is very true is that the children we have up today are very much aware of their rights. I look back when we were educating, there was our own conversation around educating children and the communities on the rights of children and protecting those rights. And what I have seen is a generation, the generation of children that were very young, like 10 years ago when the conversation was very high on issues concerning children rights. It's a generation that we have that is now going even to the streets. It is a generation that is very active in community activism and and advocating for the rights even of the nation. And these are the things we are experiencing even in our households and in our communities. That the children we are talking about today, the young people we are talking about today, are very much aware, because work has been done around the activism on their rights and protecting those rights. And they are now, okay, we are looking at them as if it is now a problem, but it is as a result of the work that has been done in our nation and with our communities over the years. That is what I can say.
Thank you so much. So, our children know much about their rights, better than us. Or even when we knew our rights, we didn't know how to demand for them. So as parents, as a community, we need to. It's not optional. Because when we make it optional, even in your house, utakuja kuambiwa mom must go. Si ni kweli? Actually, when I looked at the Children Act 2003, that's when I was a young teacher. And I read that act because I remember reading it cover to cover. And I asked, isn't this thing putting us in trouble? Because you sit down, before CBC, I was an high school teacher. And unaambia mtoto okota uchafu. And it's like, Mom, why are you punishing me? So, the rights, we need, actually in my position as a person, we need to have a dialogue about that act. Is it really working for us? There are things that are in that act. The act might be okay, the rights might be okay, but have we trained people on how to deal with them? Yes, you taught rights, right? Did you teach them rights? Or let's say, for example, reproductive rights. Are they there? But the law is children should not engage in sexual activities, right?
It is the balance between teaching the rights and the responsibilities.
The balance between teaching the rights and the responsibilities.
balance. Because the advocacy of the rights of children is still going on. We are not saying it has died, it is still going on. But there must be an emphasis that yes, these are your rights, but you are also required. There are also responsibilities that accompany those rights.
I agree with you. We taught rights, but you've not taught responsibilities. Let me give a challenge as I conclude so that I invite our guest speaker. We've all watched what is happening in our country today, right? These children go for maandamano. When they, and please, Gen Zs, musiende kunitangaza kwa mtandao. And you're watching me. Don't switch off, they can beat me. They go to the streets, right? They have a right to demonstrate. True or false? They have a right to use their social network. Correct? But your rights should not overstep another person's rights. But have we taught them that? Did we make them understand that? Are we together? And as we do the flourishing thing, as we do the flourishing community model, yes, our children are suffering. Correct, we are not refusing. Our children issues, we have problems, yes, we are not refusing. But the question is, me and you, are we talking to them that rights come with responsibilities? You don't have the right to insult anybody, whether on social media or anywhere. True or false? Because you're infringing on the other person's rights. Have we taught our children that? How can we use for the flourishing to deliver that message? So before I will give you time later. Or Mike, do I give one person time? Okay, let him respond. Then I invite our guest Michael to continue the training. Oh, Professor, sorry. I'm used to calling you Michael.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jesse Tukinjiru, a student here at Chuka University, pursuing Masters in Criminology and Security Studies. So, for me, This is the second day of this training, but by luck, I was going to the library, but I saw your poster, and I read, kwa jamii, ilikuwa jamii, leta jamii pamoja. That emblem only directed me here. So, I'm grateful for this chance. To start with, this training is timely because we are all aware of what our country, Kenya, is going through. Seriously, there's a need to reawoke our youth. When we study about the youth in school, we find even as we progress in our works, there's need to correct. There's a difference between a youth and a child. But when you see how many programs are directed towards children matters. But when the child is past adolescent, we now leave him alone, we now leave her alone to maneuver. In schools, there is grading. For you to be admitted in university, you have to attain a certain grade. Or you have to have finances to pick the courses or find the diploma courses. But what about those who don't attain the grades to enter university? Thank you. Now, to pose you is that this training, I've understood that we are about to flourish the communities. But there's a new challenge also. That's what made me arise. The social media is now becoming a bigger challenge. If you look keenly, modern technology has adjusted our concentration levels. The apps, the social media apps, Twitter, they're calling themselves X. Why are they calling themselves X? TikTok, FB, hizo zote zishajua kuhack akili. Even here at the universities, we are not safe. Because you cannot tell me you are pursuing a degree, but you cannot concentrate for 2 hours continuously because of your phone. To answer the question of now what, I could say that there's a need to ingrain our children as they transit to the youth level with the right virtues. Research has it that the way you are saying about punishing a child, it is wrong to punish a child, yes, to conquer. The best question is, kuna mtu aliniambia, mtoto wake alimuuliza, wewe baba, ukikosea nani ukuchapa? So, to end is that we have many hormones in our brain, and when we continue training the young persons about the benefits of hormones like oxytocin, we shall conquer. Thank you.
Great. Before you leave, I want you to stand up, and I appreciate you. You said you are Jesse Mituke. I wanted us to appreciate Jesse for one thing. He wasn't invited, he has invited himself. Because he has a passion for what? For the communities. This is what we are looking for in our young people, right or wrong? Yes. This is what we are looking for. Jesse, you are welcome. You were not in during yesterday's training. And I will welcome you to come for training again and again, so that you are the people who will flourish our communities. And yes, welcome. And he has said something I want us to think and reflect as I invite Michael. The social media. Ask ourselves, can we use the internet to flourish our communities? Can we bring online communities You see our youth physically hawatakuja, si ndio? Lakini si tutatumianga WhatsApp kuchanga. Don't we use your staff to do a lot of things? How would we use the online media? Online, the social media, the WhatsApp, the Twitter, the Facebook, to sensitize our communities about what we have learned, so that we bring our young people together, our women together, our men together. I may be in Nairobi, like she has said, we have a brain drain from Tarakanidi, someone else is in Isiolo, someone else is in Eldoret. Can't we get a solution to our problems together, to our communities and come together? So, we will be visiting you people, and I'm expecting you will support us as you do this, so that together we work together. We know we have challenges, so let us invite our guests. Sisi tuko hapa, tunaweza panga kukutana tena na tena. Michael is here for 2 weeks.
I leave next week.
He's leaving next week. He works in the University of Texas medical branch. So let us get some knowledge from him, then sisi tutaacha, si ndio? Welcome Michael. Karibu sana.
Morning. Thank you for coming back for day 2, for day 1. I think, Dr. Ali, this was a very good opening for today. Yesterday we spoke at depth about the ASEAN, hoping that you can understand a bit about where we're coming from. How we got there, what we have. I want to maybe offer my own reflections on the discussion that we were just having. And before that, I want to make clear also that from us at Sozo, it's not our intention to come in and do something to Tharaka Nithi County. We have been active in the council, and we have the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge that we have, that we shared about yesterday. But for us, it's this 2-day training is really opening a discussion, from my perspective, between the academic resources that we have, the NGO resources that we have, the knowledge, experience, wisdom, the model that we have, and what's going on here in Tharaka Nithi County. So today, from my view, is about understanding if what we shared about yesterday and what you understand is appealing, is attractive, then where do we go from there? Our effort has been to think of the model that makes the most sense for the most people at the most potential scale, for the most impact over the longest period of time that we could envision. Because we were addressing, as we said yesterday, that question, what do we do about children who live on the street? Similar, what do we do about families or communities that are falling apart, that are experiencing violence, that are experiencing poverty, that are experiencing, anything? What do we do to strengthen communities and to enable them to strengthen themselves? Through this FCM tree. And when we think about identifying and sharing collectively produced